Welcome to the 21st tutorial on Theme A. We will be looking at what the council does, a local council's income and expenditure, and where the money comes from, including council tax and business rates. Business rates are a form of tax paid by all the businesses in an area. The amount a business pays depends on the rent that could be charged for its premises. Council tax is a tax paid by everyone who lives in an area. It is based on the value of their house. Your local council is responsible for a range of services for your community, including education, social services, leisure, transport, housing, fire and police services. The amount of spending will depend on many different things. If the population of the area is very young, they will need lots of schools. If there are many old people, they may need help from social services. If the total population is very high, there will be lots of waste disposal required. People in the local area might say that they want a new sports center. The council will look at how much needs to be spent on necessary services first to see if they can afford it. Sometimes councils work together with private business to run their services. Council houses can be sold to private housing associations, and councils can use the money to repair remaining council property or to build new houses. Central government sets a limit on how much money a council can spend, so the council has to work out its priorities. Councils never have the money to provide everything they would like to. People vote in the local elections for the councillors who plan to spend the money on things they agree with and would like to see in the local area. Council tax is paid by all residents. The amount paid will depend on the value of their house. People who live in bigger houses will pay more than people who live in smaller houses. Business rates are paid by local businesses. The amount paid will depend on the rent that could be charged for the office, shop or factory the business uses. Central government contributes a major proportion of the money. The amount it contributes depends on the needs of the specific area and on how much can be raised locally. Poorer areas tend to receive more because it's harder for them to raise money locally. If many people are unemployed, houses will tend to have a lower value, so the council tax will bring in a relatively small amount of money. Spending in these areas often needs to be greater because people who live there often need a lot of help from social services. Here is an example of what you might expect from the spending of a local council over a year. Here is an example of what you might expect for the income of a local council in a year. In the exam, you might be asked to describe the services that local councils provide or explain why it is important to vote in local elections.
We go together like ram ram ram, ding 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 dong.